Bobby, the young lion cub, had always been curious about the world beyond his pride's land. The golden savanna, though vast and beautiful, felt too small for his adventurous spirit. One evening, as he sat atop a rocky hill watching the sunset, he noticed a strange breeze, a whisper carried by the winds, one that seemed to call his name. "Bobby! Bobby!" The wind whispered, teasing the trees and rustling the tall grass. Bobby's ears perked up. He was certain he heard something. He padded closer to the edge of the hill where the wind was strongest. Suddenly, a shadow appeared in the distance, moving fast across the grasslands. Bobby's heart raced with excitement, knowing this could be the start of something incredible. A mysterious figure emerged, a majestic owl with feathers that sparkled in the fading light. Its eyes glowed with ancient wisdom. "Brave cub, you are needed," the owl said, its voice deep and ancient. "The eternal flame is dying. If it fades, darkness will take over the lands. Only one with true courage can reignite it, and you, young Bobby, are the one chosen." Bobby's eyes widened with disbelief. "The eternal flame? But how can I, just a cub, save it?" he asked. The owl nodded solemnly. "Your heart is pure, and your bravery unmatched. You must travel to the hidden peaks beyond the great river where the flame burns. Along the way, you'll face challenges, monsters, and treacherous lands, but if you succeed, you will restore balance to the world." Bobby, though nervous, was eager to prove himself. This was his chance to be more than just a cub. This was his chance to become a hero. "Where do I begin?" Bobby asked, his voice filled with determination. The owl smiled. "Follow the northern winds. They will guide you." With that, the owl flew into the sky, disappearing into the growing twilight, leaving Bobby alone on the hill. But his heart was filled with a new sense of purpose. He was no longer just a curious cub. He was embarking on the adventure of a lifetime. Bobby's journey took him across wide open plains where he encountered herds of wildebeest, gazelles, and the occasional cheetah. However, it wasn't long before he reached the great river, the same river that the owl had mentioned. Its waters were fast and strong, and the current seemed impossible to cross. Bobby stood at the edge of the river, unsure of how to proceed. But as he sat thinking, a large crocodile emerged from the water, its sharp teeth glistening in the sun. Bobby froze, fear creeping up his spine. The crocodile's voice was deep and cold. "So, young cub, you seek to cross? Many have tried before you and failed." Bobby, gathering all his courage, puffed out his chest. "I'm not afraid of you. I have to cross this river, and I will." The crocodile chuckled. "Then you must pass my test. Swim to the other side and return with a token of the river. Only then will I allow you to cross." Bobby's heart raced as he plunged into the cold water. The current pulled at him fiercely, and the crocodile watched from the bank, its eyes gleaming. Bobby swam as hard as he could, fighting the current until he reached the opposite shore. There he found a small, shimmering stone beneath the surface of the water. He grabbed it in his teeth and began the swim back. When Bobby returned to the crocodile, he held the stone high. "I've passed your test." The crocodile gave a deep, rumbling laugh. "You have indeed, young one. Cross now, and may the winds guide you further." After crossing the river, Bobby continued his journey, following the northern winds as the owl had instructed. Soon, he reached the Mountain of Echoes, a place known for its strange, confusing terrain and echoing sounds that could mislead even the bravest adventurers. As Bobby climbed the rocky paths, the sounds around him began to distort. Whispers filled the air, but they didn't come from any living creature. They were just voices, fading in and out, causing Bobby to feel disoriented. Suddenly, an eerie, shadowy figure appeared before him. It was a huge, phantom-like lion, its eyes glowing red. "I am the guardian of echoes," it rumbled. "If you wish to continue, you must answer this riddle. What is stronger than a lion's roar and swifter than the wind?" Bobby thought for a moment. His mind raced, but then the answer came to him. "Silence," he said confidently. The phantom lion's eyes widened, and then it began to fade away. "You are wise, young cub. You may pass." Bobby continued up the mountain, feeling proud of his wit, knowing the challenges ahead would only grow more difficult. At the peak of the Mountain of Echoes, Bobby discovered a narrow path leading into a dark cave. The entrance was adorned with strange symbols and carvings that glowed faintly. As Bobby entered the cave, the temperature dropped, and shadows seemed to move on their own. The deeper he went, the more the cave twisted. What seemed like solid ground beneath his paws suddenly turned into slippery slopes. Strange, distorted reflections of Bobby appeared on the walls, making it difficult to tell what was real. Then, a voice echoed from the darkness. "You are lost, Bobby. You cannot find the eternal flame. Give up now, and you may still return home safely." Bobby paused, feeling his confidence waver. The cave's illusions were working against him, trying to confuse him. But he remembered the owl's words and the tests he had already passed. He was not about to give up now. "I'm not lost," he roared, his voice strong and clear. "I will not turn back." Suddenly, the reflections on the walls faded, and the true path ahead revealed itself. Bobby walked forward, heart pounding with excitement. He was one step closer to his goal. Bobby's journey led him to the hidden peaks, where the eternal flame was said to burn bright. The landscape here was harsh, with towering cliffs and a barren, rocky desert below. But ahead, Bobby saw a great, fiery light illuminating the sky. As Bobby approached the flame, an ominous figure stepped forward. A huge, dark lion with fiery red eyes. This was no ordinary lion. It was the guardian of the eternal flame. "You have come far, cub," the dark lion growled. "But only one with true heart can restore the flame. Are you worthy?" Bobby took a deep breath. "I have faced challenges, dangers, and illusions. I have proven my courage. I am worthy." The dark lion nodded slowly. "Then, you must face your greatest fear." Suddenly, Bobby was surrounded by darkness. He saw shadows of his family, his friends, all lost to him forever. He heard the voices of those who believed in him, telling him he would fail. But Bobby, with all his might, stood tall. "I am not afraid," he roared. The darkness shattered, and the eternal flame reignited, brighter than ever. The dark lion faded into the light, leaving Bobby alone with the blazing fire. Bobby returned home, the eternal flame in his heart, glowing with newfound strength. The savannah was bright again, and the sky no longer flickered. The world had been saved, and Bobby had proven his bravery and wisdom. From that day forward, Bobby was no longer just a cub. He was a hero, a lion whose bravery would be spoken of for generations.